2025 has already given us some truly remarkable games. From long-awaited sequels to bold new titles, this year feels like one of the strongest lineups we've had in a while. In this video, I'll be going through 17 games that, in my view, stand out as perfect 10 out of 10 experiences. These aren't just good releases, they're the kind of games that leave a lasting impression, whether through storytelling, gameplay, or sheer creativity. And as always, this list is based on my personal thoughts and experiences. So let's take a closer look at the best that 2025 has to offer. If you've been starving for a hardcore action RPG that blends brutal difficulty with jaw-dropping style, the first Berserker, KHAZAN, is basically a feast. It feels like someone tossed Dark Souls, Devil May Cry, and a heavy metal album into a blender and somehow made it work. You play as KHAZAN, a character dripping with rage, vengeance, and enough style to make you fear for your controller's lifespan. Every boss fight feels like an arena concert of pain, larger than life, beautifully designed, and absolutely merciless. The combat is lightning fast, the animations are fluid, and there's this raw weight to every strike that makes you feel like you're carving through nightmares. What makes it 10 out of 10 for me is not just the difficulty or spectacle, but how it balances both so perfectly. It punishes, it rewards, and it constantly dares you to push just one step further into madness. Mafia fans, rejoice, because the Old Country is the game we've all been waiting for, and honestly, it exceeded every expectation. Set in Sicily during the early 20th century, this game throws you into the world of honor, betrayal, and family like no other Mafia game before it. The attention to detail is insane. Cobblestone streets, candlelit churches, smoky backroom deals, every corner feels alive with history. The narrative is peak cinema, tense rivalries, emotional betrayals, and dialogue so sharp it cuts deeper than a knife. It's not just a game you play, it's a story you live. Gunfights are gritty, car chases are explosive, and the pacing never lets you breathe. What really makes it stand out, though, is how it combines that Mafia tradition of emotional storytelling with modern open-world mechanics. It's not just about shooting or driving, it's about surviving in a world where every handshake could mean loyalty or your downfall.
You think Don Torres is going to let this go? More wine. If Torres does come for...
When I say Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is perfection, I mean it with every fiber of my gamer soul. This remake takes one of the most legendary stealth games ever made and rebuilds it with Unreal Engine 5 magic. The jungle feels alive. Every rustle of leaves, every drop of rain, every flicker of sunlight feels real enough to touch. Sneaking past guards isn't just gameplay, it's pure tension, like your controller is sweating with you. Boss fights like the end, the pain, and of course the boss herself, absolutely flawless reimaginings. The survival mechanics are as sharp as ever, eating snakes, patching wounds, and camouflaging to blend into the environment. But what really makes it a 10 out of 10 is how faithful it remains to Kojima's vision while modernizing everything for today's players. It's nostalgia done right, an emotional time capsule polished into a masterpiece, and yes, that infamous ladder scene still gave me goosebumps. Just when you thought From Software couldn't possibly outdo themselves, Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN dropped and completely shattered expectations. This isn't just an expansion. It's practically a whole new nightmare stitched onto an already massive world. The new regions are hauntingly beautiful, drenched in unsettling atmospheres, and bosses so horrifying they'll crawl into your dreams. The difficulty, of course, is brutal, but that's exactly what makes every victory feel euphoric. NIGHTREIGN introduces new builds, weapons, and magic systems that push creativity further than ever before, whether you're slicing through horrors with a blade that drips shadows or casting spells that warp reality itself. The storytelling is classic FromSoft, cryptic, layered, and waiting for players to piece together. For me, it's the sense of awe, stepping into a new region, not knowing whether the next corner holds treasure or despair. NIGHTREIGN isn't just DLC, it's the definition of a 10 out of 10 experience. Assassin's Creed Shadows takes us to feudal Japan, and it's everything fans begged for over the past decade. Two protagonists, a deadly shinobi and a proud samurai, give players dual perspectives of this world torn by war and politics. The game's stealth system feels sharper than ever, letting you vanish into the darkness, use grappling hooks to scale rooftops, and strike like a ghost. On the flip side, the samurai combat is weighty, cinematic, and brutally satisfying. Every duel feels like a movie scene brought to life. The world is massive and breathtaking, from snowy mountaintops to bustling villages drenched in lantern light. What makes Shadows a 10 out of 10 is the balance between narrative and gameplay. You're not just playing an assassin, you're living out the fantasy. Avowed is Obsidian flexing their RPG muscles in the best way possible. Imagine the immersive fantasy of Skyrim, but layered with Obsidian's signature choice-driven storytelling. Every quest feels meaningful, every dialogue option can shape your path, and the world of Eora feels alive with culture, magic, and mystery. The combat is incredibly versatile. One moment you're blasting spells that tear the ground apart, the next you're swinging steel in first-person intensity. The magic system is a highlight, letting you chain abilities in creative ways that never get old. What really sets Avowed apart though is the atmosphere. Dense forests, ancient ruins, and cities dripping with lore that make exploration addictive. For me, it's the way Obsidian balances freedom and narrative that makes this a 10 out of 10. It doesn't just let you play a character, it makes you become one. Some games try to look artistic, but Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is art. The world looks like a living oil painting, surreal and haunting at the same time. The premise is chilling. Humanity's days are literally numbered, and with each passing year, the world grows stranger and more dangerous. Combat is fast, stylish, and strategic, mixing real-time and tactical mechanics in a way that keeps you hooked. The characters feel human, vulnerable, and full of personality, making you care deeply about the journey. What impressed me the most was how the game constantly keeps you on edge. The environments are dreamlike, almost too beautiful, yet they carry this creeping dread underneath. It's one of those rare games that make you stop just to admire the artistry on screen, then immediately pull you back in with tense battles. For me, it's an instant 10 out of 10 because it doesn't just entertain, it moves you.
A storm is coming.
Kojima strikes again with Death Stranding 2 on the beach, and it's somehow stranger, deeper, and more emotional than the first. The apocalyptic landscapes are vast and breathtaking, but they're also terrifying in their scale. Traversing these surreal environments is still central to the game, but the new mechanics, navigating oceans, storms, and bizarre new BT threats make every journey unpredictable. The narrative is peak Kojima, layered, cryptic, and brimming with themes of connection, life, and death. Norman Reedus delivers another fantastic performance, and the supporting cast is equally strong. What makes it a 10 out of 10 for me is the balance between bizarre surrealism and raw emotional storytelling. One minute you're stunned by the weirdness, the next you're hit with a scene that makes you pause and actually feel. It's proof that games can be cinematic experiences unlike anything else. For fans of survival and MMO worlds, Dune Awakening is pure ambition realized. Surviving on Arrakis is as intense as you'd expect. Giant sandworms lurking beneath the surface, shifting dunes that swallow settlements whole, and the constant battle for spice that fuels the galaxy. The world feels alive and hostile, pushing you to strategize, ally, and fight for every scrap of survival. The scale of the environments is jaw-dropping, and the atmosphere is pure Dune. Oppressive, dangerous, and mysterious. What makes it a 10/10 isn't just the survival mechanics or the MMO structure, but how it captures the spirit of Frank Herbert's universe. Every encounter feels like you're living in the novels and films, fighting not just against nature, but against politics, betrayal, and ambition. It's not just a game, it's an entire universe waiting to consume you. The Dynasty Warriors series has always been about power fantasy, but Dynasty Warriors Origins feels like the franchise finally evolving. For the first time, battles feel truly massive, thousands of enemies flooding the battlefield, yet the game still runs beautifully smooth. The combat has been revamped, giving each hero a sense of weight and mastery while still delivering that iconic hack and slash satisfaction. There's more strategy this time too. Troop management, battlefield positioning, and dynamic events keep the action fresh. The historical storytelling is epic and dramatic, grounding the chaos in rich characters and political intrigue. What makes this a 10 out of 10 for me is the scale and spectacle. Charging into armies feels larger than life, almost mythological. It's the perfect blend of nostalgia and reinvention, proving that Dynasty Warriors still has plenty of fight left in it.
Now, go on. Leave the rest to us. I expect we will meet again someday. Farewell for now.
Not one for explanations, then?
Gears of War Reloaded is the franchise firing on all cylinders again. It takes everything we loved about the original trilogy, the brutal chainsaw bayonet kills, the chunky cover-based shooting, and that grim post-apocalyptic tone, and polishes it for a new generation. The environments are darker, more detailed, and filled with destruction that feels tactile. Combat is pure adrenaline, with guns that roar and enemies that feel genuinely threatening. The story hits hard too, revisiting classic themes of survival, sacrifice, and brotherhood, while adding fresh twists that keep fans hooked. What makes Reloaded a 10 out of 10 for me is how it honors the series' roots while still feeling fresh. It's not just nostalgia. It's a statement that Gears is back, meaner, louder, and bloodier than ever. If realism is your thing, then Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is basically the holy grail. No dragons, no magic, just raw medieval grit. The combat system is as punishing as it is rewarding, forcing you to think like a real swordsman instead of button mashing. The world is stunning in its authenticity, castles, villages, and forests that feel pulled straight from history books. The attention to detail is insane, from the way armor restricts your movement to the way NPCs follow their daily routines. The story is equally grounded, weaving politics, religion, and survival into a compelling narrative. What makes it a 10 out of 10 is how immersive it feels. You're not just playing a medieval RPG, you're living in it. It's brutal, it's demanding, and it's absolutely unforgettable.
You can't stand up to this!
Capcom went all out with Monster Hunter Wilds, delivering one of the most jaw-dropping entries in the series. The new open zones are massive, dynamic, and alive with ecosystems that react to your presence. One moment you're tracking a beast in a desert storm, the next you're hiding from predators in dense jungles that feel alive. The monsters themselves? Pure nightmare fuel, each one designed with incredible creativity and unique mechanics that push your hunting skills to the limit. The new traversal systems, including mounts and gliders, make exploration more fun than ever. For me, this is a 10 out of 10 because it captures what Monster Hunter has always been about, the thrill of the hunt, but cranks it up with freedom, scale, and visual spectacle that rivals any open world game out there. Sniper Elite Resistance is a series at its absolute peak. The World War II setting feels more immersive than ever, with sprawling open maps that let you approach missions in countless ways. The iconic X-ray kill cams are back and bloodier than ever, but now paired with stealth mechanics that feel sharp and rewarding. The atmosphere is tense, creeping through occupied towns, sabotaging Nazi operations, and pulling off shots from ridiculous distances. What impressed me most is how much freedom the game gives you. Do you go loud with explosives or slip in and out like a ghost? Resistance nails that balance of tactical planning and explosive payoff. For me, it's a 10 out of 10 because it's not just a sniper game anymore. It's a full tactical sandbox that makes every mission memorable. Next, we've got Split Fiction, the co-op adventure from Hazelight Studios, the minds behind It Takes Two. This time, you and a friend step into the worlds of Mio and Zoe, two rival authors whose imagination spirals out of control, forcing their sci-fi and fantasy stories to collide in the most unpredictable ways. One moment you're dodging cyber ninjas in neon-lit cities, the next you're outsmarting trolls and riding dragons. What really makes it shine is the variety. Every level introduces fresh mechanics that keep you on your toes and demand genuine teamwork. The Friends Pass returns too, so only one of you needs to own the game to play together. Released March 6, 2025 on PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC, it's basically a creativity overload where communication, trust, and maybe some lighthearted arguments with your co-op partner are absolutely guaranteed. If you've been craving another dark, atmospheric Souls-like, but with its own cultural identity, WUCHANGE Fallen Feathers delivers it in spades. Inspired by Chinese folklore, it paints a world that's both breathtaking and deeply unsettling. The environments range from misty mountain temples to rotting villages haunted by twisted creatures, each dripping with eerie atmosphere. Combat is sharp and aggressive, focusing on dual blades and counterattacks that reward precision and timing. The lore is layered with tragedy and mystery, told through haunting visuals and cryptic encounters. What makes it a 10 out of 10 for me is how it doesn't just copy From Software's formula. It injects fresh mythos and style, creating a world that feels terrifyingly unique. Every boss fight is a dance of death, and every victory feels like you clawed it out of a nightmare. Finally, we come to Lost Soul Aside, a game that's been in the making for years and somehow managed to live up to the hype. It's a hack and slash spectacle that fuses the stylish combat of Devil May Cry with the cinematic flair of Final Fantasy. Every fight feels like an anime battle come to life, flipping through the air, transforming weapons mid-combo, and chaining attacks in ways that make your jaw drop. The visuals are stunning, with environments that look like living concept art, and enemy designs that push creativity to the edge. The story leans heavily into fantasy melodrama, but that's exactly what makes it work. It's bold, flashy, and unapologetically epic. For me, this is a 10 out of 10 because it's pure adrenaline, pure style, and pure fun. It's the perfect finale to an already legendary year of gaming. And there you have it, 17 perfect 10 out of 10 games of 2025 that you absolutely need to play. So tell me in the comments, which one of these masterpieces have you played already, and which one is sitting at the top of your must-play list? Don't forget to drop a like, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.